All right.
All right, welcome to another live stream on the Odds Jam YouTube channel. This is Andrew Kim, aka the Parlay Doc, and Matt Jedi Modi. We are your co-hosts here tonight on our live stream. And if you haven't checked it out, please check out oddsjam.com, guys. If you are sports betting regularly, you got to go check this out. And see all the premium tools, free tools, all these different things that they got. So go check out oddsjam.com. And tonight we are talking Thursday night football, and we have Raiders versus the Rams. I swear to God, Matt, I just hope all I'm asking for is a slightly better game than the Bucks and Saints game. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, I would say that shouldn't be that difficult to beat, but we've seen the Rams play all year, and they are horrible. They are absolutely horrible. But hey,
they're garbage. They're garbage.
I think if I read this right, they just announced that Baker Mayfield is starting tonight.
They said he's starting.
That's what I saw. It was right before we joined. I don't know if it was a joke, but I saw something on Twitter about Baker Mayfield starting.
Come on. Let me go to NFL underdog NFL. Let's see what it says here. Let's see if
he's definitely active. I think they haven't officially announced who's starting, but where did I see this?
Yeah, Baker Mayfield active for week 14.
Yeah, so I saw this on a Twitter account, Fantasy Pros. Rams starting Baker Mayfield.
And Are you serious?
And it's like a clip. Have you watched Arrested Development?
No. I know it, but I don't watch it regularly.
There's like one of my favorite. I mean, it's a very, very quotable show. But one of my favorite it's like a video. It's like Tobias from the show is like, yeah, these people delude themselves into thinking that it can work when they both know that it's not going to work. And then there's like a pause. He's like, but it could work for us. And that was people saying Rams starting Baker Mayfield.
Oh God. Hey, you might be right about that news that's because look, all of a sudden I'm seeing like on some of these sports books, like the QB lines for the Rams have been taken down. Only Derek Carr's up now suddenly. So
yeah.
So something, yeah, you're right. Something's shifting in the breaking news department. So I guess that might even change how I feel about this game. Because look, honestly, guys, coming into this, I thought to myself, this game is basically just hoping that Derek Carr will connect with Devontae Adams. Maybe you get some Matt Collins passes and you get to watch Josh Jacob run one in, maybe. And that's what you're watching. But it definitely raised the entertainment factor if Baker starts and plays. I'd be that much more interested in it. Maybe you get a few passes on the on the Ram side at least. So
yeah, I mean, he's awful. He is absolutely horrendous. I legitimately think they would be better off with John Wolford. That's how bad Baker Mayfield is.
You're right, though. Look, even on DraftKings now, I looked earlier a few minutes. Wolford, now all his lines are gone, so something's happening. Maybe Mayfield is playing. Anyone else out there? Any of the viewers that are watching with us right now? Do you find any other sources right now about Baker Mayfield starting? Is that the case? Because maybe I will. I wasn't planning. I was only planning on betting on Raiders TD players today. I wasn't even going to trust anybody on the Rams side. But
same.
That's
what I have. We can get into it. That's what I have. I don't have any. I mean, I guess Cam Akers, I got a really good value at the time. It ended up not being as good of a value now, but like Caesars had him at like plus 190, and every other book, the closest was plus 150. That's kind of been bet up. So there's really not a ton of value in the Cam Akers one like there was at the time. But no, I'm with you. Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs and GTFO.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, look, obviously, if more news breaks, this is potentially going to shift it a little bit. But currently, at a lot of these books right now, as things stand right now, currently, you have the Raiders as a favorite. Minus 6.5 is kind of the typical spread that we're seeing on most of the books. Money line for the Raiders minus 275. On the flip side, Rams plus 225. Total sitting right around 41.5. And again, give or take a half point here. Oh, look, see, something's shifting now. Now Raiders are minus 6, Rams plus 6. So things are already moving right in front of my eyes, and a lot of lines are locking and unlocking. So maybe the Baker news really is legit then. So
why are they moving towards the Rams? That's horrible. He's been there for 48 hours. Like even if he were prime Tom Brady, he's been there for 48 hours. There's no way he can learn the playbook and adequately play for. There's no way. There's no way.
So someone's very passionate. So
Well, I mean, Baker Mayfield is terrible, and these
yeah,
teams keep deluding themselves into it. And now there's like this thought that like the books are saying, like, I guess I could see like the books are only changing it because of the public action. But the fact that people are dumb enough to say, "Oh, Baker Mayfield's starting, I'm going to bet the Rams." I mean, Mike, come on, people, you got to be better than that.
yeah. All right. Well, look, I mean, again, if I'm going to pick, I don't actually currently have anything on the spread right now, or the money line, because there's no way I'm going to take a Rams money line bet, and there's no value really on Raiders at -275. But
Yeah.
if I had to pick, which I don't have anything to be transparent, I would now go with Raiders -6 at DraftKings. Just because, look, I, it's unlikely, but they have an outside chance in hell if they run the table and a few teams ahead of them have to lose and they need help. But there's theoretically a chance they could barely sneak in, but everything would have to go their way. But meaning they have motivation to still try to win every game and win out. There's nothing to play for right now for the Rams. They're a dumpster fire more than the Bucks are, which is hard to do.
Hard to say. Yeah.
Hard to say, but they're a total wreck that I don't feel comfortable with anything on the Rams side. I mean, unless the spread tips up past a key number and you can get them, whatever at +7.5. You get them at a key number. I don't have any faith in them whatsoever on the offensive side of the ball. And you don't have Aaron Donald. I mean, it's just I have no faith in them whatsoever. So if I were to bet, I would only just go with the Raiders, but that's a big number for even a Raiders team that's only just started to gel to lay -6. But yeah, I would go -6 Raiders if I had to pick tonight.
Before I even saw the Baker Mayfield news, I ended up putting a unit on Raiders -6.5. The Rams are just terrible, and the Raiders, I mean, they've won 3 straight.
Yep.
And like,
exactly.
It's not like the most, I mean, they beat the Broncos, which is nothing that like, that is something that you don't put any emphasis in. But then they beat like the Seahawks. Like the Seahawks have been feisty. Like that's not a bad team. And then they beat the Chargers last week. So at least the Raiders are like still trying and still going somewhere. And that team always had talent, and their defense is terrible. But like the Rams have literally nothing to take advantage of a bad defense at this point. So to me, I feel even more confident now in the Raiders -6. I got them before the news. So -6.5 at -110 odds, but
there you go.
Yeah. I like that even better now.
Yeah. I mean, -6, I might take a taste of that because that half point makes a difference to me.
It's a huge deal. Yeah.
So I might sample on DraftKings for like a half unit just because we're talking about it. And I want some action. I need something. I'm such a degenerate. I need some action on the game tonight. So, okay. So let's talk boosts real quick. Then we'll talk individual props. I don't see a ton of boosts out there. I just see the DraftKings one. So PMI super boost on FanDuel. Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs to combine for two plus touchdowns. So 2 touchdowns, +120. Not a lot of value on that. They both got to score to get +120.
Yeah. If one of them scores twice, then it would count.
I guess.
So that's why I like it. Cause like Devontae Adams scored twice last week. Josh Jacobs scored twice last week. I think between the two of them, you have the chance of one of them scoring twice. So I mean, you're right. +120 isn't phenomenal, but I did like that one.
Yeah, you're going to take that one?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I see your point. And in this kind of game, in this spot where they have motivation and the Rams are a mess and they're doing QB roulette, yeah, I could see either one of them getting 2 touchdowns today. So I don't hate it. I'm not sure if I'm going to max it out. I might, just sprinkle on that one.
Like a quarter one.
Yeah, 25 or something, just to have some fun. And then I see another one here. I don't know if you see this one. It's a multi-sport one. It's Derek Carr 200 passing yards, and then Jokic and Lillard in the late NBA game to both get 20 points each.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch that one.
Yeah,
I feel like Jokic is like, I mean, he's incredible, but
he's regressed this season though. He's taken
been
a step,
and he's not like now that he has, I guess like they've got some players out, but now that he has like a more full team, he doesn't need to score as much. And he's always been one, like Jokic has always been one to like defer and facilitate if need be. So, I mean, he probably will. Like his projections are probably above 20, but he always makes me nervous.
All right, let's see here. So yeah, it seems like there's not a ton of great boosts out there right now. So
yeah,
let's see here. So Joe Ja asking for kicker props. Here, this is what I could tell you here. Let's see here.
Whatever the field goals over under is, take the over. Is that, can you bet over field goals?
Well, you could do kicker points. I think like Daniel Carlson's like over or under is like 7.5 total kicking points. Matt Gay's like over 5.5. God, I mean, I'd probably roll with the Rams kicking points, assuming they're going to struggle to like get to the end zone, and you might have to settle for some field goal. I wonder if they can get into field goal range a handful of times.
Get there,
but that's just 2 field goals, right? To get over 5.5. Not a bad thought, Matt Gay. I mean, if I had to go
over 3.5 field goals, -105
for total in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad for total in the game.
As we speak, just got changed to +105. Oh, right.
That's not bad. So there you go, Joja. I like that total. So both teams. So I guess the only concern is will if the Raiders are humming, they're just going to score every time and never need a field goal.
Yeah, will they just score? That is definitely possible. Will they just score every time?
That's the risk. Okay, so since there's not a ton of boosts, let's just move to individual props. I'm not going to lie, guys. I don't have now, especially if the QB thing is up in the air. I didn't even have much for the Rams. It's for me, it's all Raiders props, honestly. So I'm just going to go straight to it. Touchdown wise, I am going to take a half unit on Mac Hollins. He's hovering around +290-ish at various books for anytime touchdown, and then Foster Moreau +250-ish, give or take a few points depending on your book. I like both of them for a couple reasons. Hollins is just basically playing most of the snaps. He what does he have? 3 touchdowns or something on the season. He's got a handful of
something
touchdowns.
Like that, yeah.
He's been a reliable pass catcher. The DVOA stats for the Rams with their receiving defense right now against wide receiver 1s and 2s is pretty terrible. So I think Adams is just going to crush them. But obviously with all the attention on Adams, that's going to free up Hollins for a couple of looks, hopefully. Tight end wise, I think tight ends have scored. The trends have been like 5 out of the last 6 games. A tight end has scored against the Rams. I don't know. I like, for various reasons, that the Rams are struggling. Raiders have incentive to win. I think the obvious chalk is Adams. I think if you're going to go Adams, you might as well go 2 touchdowns. Not a bad call. But for individuals, I am going to be, again, half unit on Moreau and half unit on Hollins. Those are my touchdown plays for today as straights.
I parlayed Adams and Josh Jacobs because I feel like Derek Carr is just going to hyper. Like the past couple of weeks, he's just, now that they've gotten in a rhythm, he's hyper targeting Adams, and then they're giving Jacobs the ball a ton. Like that's their entire offense. So I parlayed them together. It's not horrible odds at like +220, +218, something like that. It's like pretty reasonable. So I parlay them together, and then like I mentioned at the beginning, I had Cam Akers. The value there has kind of been sapped away. So I did take that individually, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend that now. And the only other prop, non-touchdown prop, I took Josh Jacobs over 20.5 rushing attempts.
20.5 rushing attempts. I like that.
Yeah, because they're not shy to just run him into the ground. He's in a contract year, so they don't really care about keeping him fresh. And they are like legitimately, if they can run the table, which is obviously difficult because they end their season against the 49ers and the Chiefs. But like, who knows? 49ers without Jimmy G, Chiefs could have already had the 1 seed locked up. Like they could legitimately, if they run the table, make the playoffs. I think they're going to try and do everything they can to do that, obviously. For me, that means feeding Josh Jacobs. The Devontae Adams stats, like they're just so high. Like
I know, yeah, exactly.
So I didn't touch them except for like boosting, or except for lowering his yards for a parlay, but they're just too high.
No, they are. And look, and I get it. People are like, oh, like, don't be scared. Just take him. He's going to crush and he's going to get 120. He might get 120. Who knows? Like I wouldn't be surprised at all, but it's just so high that so many things have to go right, and he can't get injured. All these things, that's such a high number. Like it's just too much for me to right now play that as a straight bet. It's like I'd rather just gamble on him just getting a touchdown at this point.
Instead of taking like one of them straight up, just like take him to score a touchdown and have like 100 yards or something. Like at least like basically like if he's going to go off, he's going to blow up, and we'll bet on that, as opposed to just taking his yardage at like 88 at like minus 114 odds. Like to me, that's not really worth it. That's not, the value's not there.
Yeah, the only one that I'm also going to take, sprinkle on the Rams. And I know I said I don't really have much faith in the Rams. I do like, in my opinion, I do like either Van Jefferson or Tutu Atwell potentially to go over their yards for a couple different reasons. Van Jefferson. Oh, look.
There you go.
There you go. 100. Basically, Van Jefferson basically at this point by default is their wide receiver one.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
And because of that, I was literally going to say, so Zachary's on the same page as me, 100% snap share. But here's the weird thing: 100% snap count, but it didn't get like a ton of targets. And then to Atwell, the risk with him is the opposite. He didn't get a ton of snaps. He had like one of the fewer percentage snap counts, but he actually got like more targets per route run, technically speaking. So, and his total set at like 20.5 on PointsBet. And he's actually, I think, got at least a couple of deep passes from each of the rotating quarterbacks. So it seems like regardless of the QB, they're running the same package with him every time. And as long as he can catch the ball, I don't know, two passes maybe you can get the over. But my concern is, will he get the snap count? So snap count wise, Van Jefferson's safer, but Tutu Atwell's line is so low, it just takes like two passes maybe. So,
could honestly take one pass.
Well, yeah, it could take one pass. So
he's their deep threat. He's like, no, sorry to interrupt you, but he's like he's like a scat receiver type player. He's like tiny, jitterbug. He's incredibly fast. So he's their deep threat. So if he catches one, it's probably going to be a deep either a screen, which will go nowhere, or a deep threat, or deep shot, which obviously could go somewhere.
Yeah. So right now I'm locking it in right now on Odds Jam. I'm seeing the best odds for Tutu Atwell is 20.5 on PointsBet. So
pretty low.
It's a little juiced though, minus 125. But like Matt said, one pass, maybe two medium length passes. So I'm going to take Tutu. I have to do some line shopping, and then I'll see what Van Jefferson's is, Zachary. So, but yeah, you and me are on the same page. It's really just because of the snap count. I think if Baker's in, that might help Van Jefferson to some degree. But so we'll have to see what's going on with the quarterback situation. But Zachary, I appreciate the stat. Yeah, you're and me on the same page. Van Jefferson, at least he's going to be on the field.
He will play. He will play.
I don't know if he'll get the ball, but he'll be on the field. So
but he'll play.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Any other touchdown guys? I know we're kind of slim today because I think both of us. And I think it's fine. I think you see what happens. We force the issue. We went light, luckily, I think, on the Bucs game. And it's good that we went kind of light. That was a brutally ugly game.
It was a brutal game. And the ones that I liked, I mean, Brady Yards hit, but Chris Godwin didn't hit. I don't remember what else we took individually. But yeah, I mean, it was a horrible game. And sometimes we talked about this, but like
I whiffed on the tight end for the Saints. What was his?
Troutman, the fishman.
Troutman. Yeah. He actually got a handful of passes. I should have just went with his, receiving yardage. They just couldn't connect, with him for the end zone. So
yeah, I mean, the game was
it was an ugly game.
Dreadful.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's build one, man. Like oh God, are we back to the one leg short curse?
I think so.
We were good for a while. And then if you guys followed us on Monday, miraculously Brady marching back to that victory, we got his overs, and then God, we fell short of Godwin yards by like 5 yards on our SGP that we built on the live stream, guys. So that was brutal. That was brutal. All right. So let's build one. And today, I don't care if it overlaps with our straight bets because we have such few bets.
I'm with you.
I'm very Raiders heavy and Raiders centric today because I don't have faith in the Rams. So
so I'm basically thinking, do we just do a Jacobs and Adams parlay? Like either touchdown, like either do like 2 touchdowns. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, do we do 2 touchdowns each, parlay them together, and just have that be our SGP, like them both to score twice?
What does that get you?
Plus 3,500.
3,500. Oh,
maybe not. Maybe
hard to pull off.
One.
Hard to pull off. Well, let's just do it as a sprinkle.
Yeah.
Let's do that. So I'll lock that in. 2 each, just a repeat. Let's just have a repeat of what you've already done, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so we'll go light on that. 2. Okay. Now
And
let's
then
let's build one separate from that.
we could also not. This is another juicy one. We could do like Foster Moreau and Mac Hollins. So basically, like if it's not Adams and Jacobs twice, it's probably going to be one of them. Is my
Okay.
logic.
Okay, so Foster Moreau, Mac Collins. Okay.
Anyway, sorry, I'm being a little silly. It's just we can do an artificial one now.
All right. All right, let's build our official one now. So, okay, so let's start with this. Since we're dogging the Rams, should we back up our talk with money? Should we just put them in the parlay? Rams to either just win or win by a field goal, something like that?
Yeah, let's do -3.
-3
or 2.5, whatever.
minus,
I guess
-2.5. Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
So
juice. It's juice, but it's in a parlay. So
yeah, that's fine. So -2.5. So they just got to win by a field goal. All right. So we are going to back our talk up, dogging the Rams. We're going to take Raiders. And then what? Derek Carr, they may run a lot with Jacobs in the beginning, in my opinion. So 225 yards.
passing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then who cares? Let's just go with our gut. So we both feel like it's just going to be a chalk game, Adams, Jacobs, right? So let's add them. Okay. So if the Raiders are going to win, they got to score probably, right? So
it's going to be one of them.
So Adams, Jacobs to score, Raiders -2.5, Derek Carr 225. Measly +454. So we need one or two more legs.
Yeah, I was wondering, do we do like an alt Adams and Jacobs? So do we do like Adams 70 plus, Jacobs 70 plus, and see where that gets us? I haven't built that out. I'm just curious.
Yeah, let me see. Still not great. +697.
Yeah, it's not great. Either we either up it to 80 or we just say we're going to have one that doesn't quite meet the +1,000. Like we may do a little bit of a safer one.
Or we have to gamble and we take off the yards and we have Raiders -2.5, Carr 225, Adams, Jacobs, and we pick one. And we have to just pick one, Moreau or Hollins. Who are we going to go with? And then it really skyrockets the odds.
To score?
It's tough.
See, that makes me nervous because then we're basically like, are we getting the exact 3 touchdowns?
It is hard.
I mean, I guess hitting a parlay is
or we just commit to one of those props, like just Adams going off or Carr going off, and we just go with like the regular line versus an alt line.
Yeah, let's do the regular line with I say of the options, I'd probably say Adams.
Adams, okay. So
but I don't, like I said, I don't love it.
Because look, if we go Adams just even 80, all right, that +680.
Wait, so what do we have? So we have
Raiders 2.5, Derek Carr 225, Adams and Jacobs to score. Oh shit, I put the wrong guy. Let me put Adams. I put Jacobs 80. So Adams 80 puts it to +595.
So if we do Adams and Jacobs 80 each, we get up to 885.
Yes.
So maybe we do that.
Okay, I'm in.
Although Zach Brown is yelling at us to add the van line. I don't know if that
I don't even know who the quarterback is right now, right?
I'm with you. I like the value of it.
I like him as an individual. I just don't know who's even throwing the damn ball right. I mean, it's low. It is low. Fuck. If you put
it's low for someone that plays every single snap.
If you could Van Jefferson 25 yards, it's -270. It's not even a terrible alt line. 25 yards -270.
See, if we're gonna take him, I would rather just take him
40 yards +100, and that just
I'd rather just take his prop straight up because I feel like he's either gonna just like totally goose or be fine. You know what I mean? Like to me, like I don't think that there's a ton of of safety with him.
All right, let's see here. Okay, so we'll just go with Raiders heavy. So we're doing the Raiders -2.5, Derek Carr 225, Adams Jacobs to score, Adams Jacobs 80 +878 right now.
Yeah, +878.
Okay. All right. I'm in. I'm in. I'm gonna let's see. I'm gonna do 35 to win 307 profit. So
Yeah, I put to win 300, so it's like 34.
there you go. Locking it in, guys. All right, guys. So good luck on all your bets. We appreciate the input and Zachary's input about Van Jefferson. I'll probably build another one and I'll go crazy with him. Maybe I'll put him for like 50 or 60 or something and see what happens. Just hope for the best.
Or what if we do a
Uh,
Tutu Atwell Van Jefferson touchdown parlay plus 3,000 odds?
for just the two of them?
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe it should be more like plus 6,000 at this point with
yeah,
at this rate with the Rams offensive struggles, but
yeah. I agree.
okay. All right. All right. Well, like I said, guys, let's just hope for some touchdowns. Let's make it entertaining. Maybe if Baker's truly playing, it'll make it even that much more fun. So
Well,
let's have a fun time and let's catch each other on Twitter. Follow us on our Twitter handles and let's go back and forth tonight. Go Foster Moreau, go Mac Hollins. Hopefully, you guys get the single touchdowns for my single touchdown plays, and the Raiders bring it home tonight, guys.
and go Raiders.
Go
Raiders.
Raiders.
All right, see you guys.